Hey, good afternoon. It's Pete from FigLife.com, and today I'm looking at a fig called Col de Dame Roja. Alright, so go look at the Col de Dame Roja tree. It's kind of back here. It's right here. Kind of back here in the shade a little bit. I didn't give it the greatest spot in the yard, but I did give it a head start, so probably because of that head start it is producing some figs now for me. And I just picked one. Looks like there's another one right here that's getting kind of close, so that'll definitely ripen before the end of the season, and then there's a couple more down here. So but it looks like a really healthy tree. The leaves are really nice. Hasn't been hit too hard by rust yet, so that's good. And yeah, so let's go take a look at the fig. All right, I got a Col de Dame Roja fig here. So you can see it's got that distinctive neck to it, the neck of the lady. I think that's what it translates to, Col de Dame. So a little bit of an open eye. It's kind of hard. I don't have a lot of experience picking this fig variety, so it's kind of hard for me to tell when it's ripe, because it's a little firmer, a little more firm than I would normally pick a fig, but it was getting quite a bit of cracking on it, and otherwise appeared to be ripe, other than the firmness of it. So I decided to go ahead and pick it, and I guess I'll find out once I cut into it if it is in fact ripe. But this is one of several Col de Dame varieties that I have, but it's actually one of the first ones to ripen for me. I'm still waiting on a few others, including Blanc, Mutante, Gigantina, and Grise to ripen. So, and I'm not saying this is an earlier variety necessarily. It's just that maybe the place it was at in the yard enabled me to get figs. Anyway, it's about mid-September here in Northern Virginia, and I did give this a greenhouse head start, so probably a late season variety. Anyway, let me go ahead and cut this open. All right, so I cut it open. See how it looks. I mean, it could have used a little more time, but it's approaching being ripe, so it's probably only a little bit under ripe. Really dark red interior on this fig. It doesn't quite have that jammy look to it that Col de Dame is known for, but I expect that's just because I picked it a little bit too soon, unfortunately. So I'll have to let the next one ripen up a little bit more. Anyway, let me go ahead and try this. All right, so this is Col de Dame Roja. I think this is my second year with this, and I think I got just maybe like a couple figs off this last season. So it's second year for me. But I haven't had a lot of figs, as I mentioned, only a couple last season. So this is maybe only like the third or fourth Col de Dame Roja I've ever picked. But it looks pretty good, actually. There is some syrupiness to it. Skin's kind of, coming off the fig a little bit, so this may taste pretty good. Wow, yeah, that's really good. Wow. So kind of a moderate level of sweetness, but a really strong berry flavor. Really tasty. That's really, really good. Yeah, well, that's a really tasty fig. I can see why so many people just rave about these Col de Dame varieties. All those ones I mentioned, Grise, Blanc, all those different varieties. Mutante. I mean, actually, I did get quite a few Mutantes last season, and those were really, really good. So the next one I'll have to just wait and see if I can get it to ripen more. it's always a bit of a balancing act, trying to, you know, let it ripen all the way through until it's just fully ripe, but then pick it before it spoils. So, but this is a really tasty fig, and you know, just goes to show you what a great taste that this variety is capable of. When you have one that's not even at peak ripeness, and it has, you know, such a good flavor. Yeah, so that was Col de Dame Roja. Really great taste. Not one that you're, you know, the problem is it's a little bit of a late fig, and so, you know, it's kind of at the edge of where you can ripen it here in Northern Virginia, and that was that even had a greenhouse head start for me. So without that head start, you know, you probably wouldn't be getting many figs off of that tree here in this climate, but I did give it a head start, so hopefully I'll get a few more of those before the season ends, because that was really tasty. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe and check out my website, www.figlife.com.